President Moon Jae-in is on his way to Europe for a meeting with his German counterpart and for talks with other world leaders at the upcoming G20 summit in Hamburg. They'll have plenty to chew over as President Moon's trip to Germany comes just 24 hours after North Korea test-fired its first intercontinental ballistic missile. Our Hwang Hojun with the details.
Less than a week after returning home from Washington, President Moon Jae-in once again boarded the presidential plane on Wednesday morning, departing for the German cities of Berlin and Hamburg. This is his second trip to a foreign country since his inauguration. As soon as he arrives in Germany, President Moon will kick off his 6-day trip, first stopping in Berlin for separate sit-downs with German Chancellor Angela Merkel and German President Frank-Walter Steinmeier to discuss issues including, but not limited to, how to reinforce the friendly relations between the two nations and how to resolve the North Korean nuclear issues. On Thursday local time, the South Korean leader is expected to meet with Chinese President Xi Jinping in the morning and then will deliver a speech at the Kerber Foundation, a non-profit organization that provides the platform to discuss present political issues around the world. President Moon is expected to lay out his vision for peace on the Korean peninsula. Later in the day, President Moon will attend a trilateral working dinner with the leaders of the United States and Japan, initially suggested by President Trump last week. Starting on Friday, President Moon will attend the G20 summit in Hamburg, his first multinational forum. During the summit, President Moon will have a bilateral summit with Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe on the sidelines, as well as with the leaders of China, Russia, France, India, and Australia.
Continuing from a successful visit to the United States, President Moon will carry out summit diplomacy after a long leadership vacuum.
During the first session of the G20 summit, President Moon will give a speech where he's expected to introduce his administration's core economic policies, including job creation and nurturing environment-friendly energy industry. But it's important to note that North Korea, which launched a long-range missile on Tuesday, will likely top the South Korean leader's agenda during the trip as well.
The president says he will intensify cooperation with the international community to resolve the North Korean issue during his visit to Germany and the G20 summit.
And accordingly, President Moon is expected to rally international support in condemning the North's latest missile provocation in his meeting with G20 leaders. Hwang Hojun, Arirang News.